This is Let's Talk Business with your host, Marc Ebinger. Now, here's Marc.
Welcome back to the Let's Talk Business podcast. In studio with us today is the infamous Tito Pacheco, owner of the Right Guyz Plumbing, also a good friend of mine, and just a lot of fun to have. I'm excited that you're here today with us. Of course, the Right Guyz Plumbing is known for their top-notch service and rapid response. The Right Guyz handle everything from water heater replacements to emergency plumbing needs. Tito, welcome back to the show.
Man, thank you so much. I'm super excited to be here one more time.
Also in studio with us today is Allison Phair, an insurance agent with Comparion Insurance Agency, who specializes in personalized insurance solutions, including auto, home, life, and pet insurance. Allison, first timer, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm equally as excited. I hope I can keep up with Tito's exuberance here in the studio.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So, Tito, I think it's pretty smart inviting Allison to come on with you for the show today because the topics we're going to talk about, I think, are really good for homeowners to understand why you just don't want to hire any plumbing person to come out there and take care of stuff. I saw my neighbor hired somebody, with some car parked up on the grass in there, digging up a trench, doing it. And I'm thinking, I doubt that they're probably licensed and it could be an issue. So real valuable information that we're going to be going over today about things that homeowners don't necessarily think about. So kudos to you in bringing Allison.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right, of course, I'm your host, Marc Ebinger, the owner of Krukus Virtual Staffing, a company that recruits and staffs experienced overseas administrative assistants for businesses who need help with administrative tasks such as appointment management, data entry, and client communication.
And I'm Howie Nestel, the owner of Sharkmatic Advertising. Been in business now for 3 decades, so I'm starting to figure out this whole marketing thing. Digital marketing is really what we excel at. Graphic design, web design, and search engine optimization. We've helped 1,500 clients in 30 years, created 1,100 websites, and more importantly, through search engine optimization, we've been able to get more eyeballs on those websites, and prospects turn into leads, turn into clients, turns into revenue. If you have any questions about that, go to sharkmatic.com and come and see us for a 1-hour sit-down free consultation to see what we can help you with and how we can help your business grow.
No trip charge?
No trip charge.
You left that off. That was
I left
hilarious.
that off. That was in the practice.
That was in the practice.
Man.
Well, the clients have to come. The prospects have to come to us.
Oh, okay. So there's no trip charge.
I see.
No internet tax or anything like that?
No.
All right.
Not yet.
A quick reminder to follow the Let's Talk Business podcast on all major podcast platforms and social media where you can catch video version of the show. Of course, you can get to everything easily by visiting our website at satalkradio.com.
And we have a Let's Talk Business podcast mega mixer coming up. And if you remember, Mark, the very first mixer was not called a mega mixer because we didn't know how many people to expect. Now we're expecting more than 200 entrepreneurs. It's a nominal amount to get in, $20. Proceeds go to worthwhile nonprofits. This event, the money goes to Gotcha Covered. You can go to gotchacovered.org. It's a nonprofit that's been helping the least fortunate in our community for now 28 years with non-perishable food items, new and gently used clothing, and toiletries, all of which gets donated on one single day, all distributed to those nonprofits. You can go to Gotcha Covered to learn that, but to buy your tickets for the October 3rd Mega Mixer, which will take place from 5:30 to 7:30, you go to satalkradio.com. Get your ticket early because 1, it's going to sell out. 2, if you show up at the door and we let you in, you're going to have to pay $25, but it'll still be well worth it because you're going to get margaritas. Yes, I said margaritas. and some delicious food. All included in the cost. And again, the proceeds are going to do good by community.
Wonder what they call margaritas.
Yeah, right. It's a lot of fun. I think Howie actually gets credit for that one. We're going to have 2 red carpet experiences. Of course, we're going to have a photo booth, which that's a cool experience. Then, of course, we're going to have our video interviews done on the other red carpet that Indigo Films is going to be doing.
And
again.
Tito did a video, and it aired, and you didn't have to pay anything extra to be in that video on the red carpet, right?
Absolutely not. And it was a great experience. I'm telling y'all, you'll need to show up to the event. If you have the opportunity also to become a sponsor, you will love it. You're going to have so much fun. Especially those red carpet interviews. They're amazing.
And Allison, you were at, which event did you go to? I think you were at one of them.
The BNI Mixer, Mega Mixer, and it was great. It was my first event I've ever been to that you guys have had, and couldn't promote it more. It was just great food, great drink, great people, great networking. So highly recommend going to these events.
Are you part of BNI?
I am.
You are. What
Part
chapter
of
are you
the
in?
Dynamic Alliance group.
Okay.
We meet Wednesdays at 11:30 at Chicken and Pickle.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's the one that Brenda set up over
Yes.
there, right? And that's the one that Tito's in, too.
That's my group too.
Yeah.
Part of the team, baby.
Is he going regularly or is he missing?
He's always there.
Is he?
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Because it's not always easy. You know, you get these trades folks, and especially the business owners, and they don't always attend because they're out busy doing the work or whatever. But I think it's really important to be
No,
there.
you
on a
have to
regular basis.
attend because that's your team and you need to take care of them. Especially, you have to be there.
All right. Well, speaking of team, I'm going to do a quick shout out here for Carlos De Leon, the owner of Duxico Consultant, for being a gold sponsor at the upcoming Let's Talk Business Mega Mixer here in San Antonio on October 3rd. Duxico is a company that helps small to medium-sized businesses enhance their operations, leadership skills, and overall efficiency. Duxico Consulting's services include business coaching, leadership training, social media management, and lead generation. If you're looking to streamline your business and operations and enhance your leadership skills and achieve sustainable growth, reach out to Carlos De Leon today at Duxico.com. That's DELXICO.com. Or you can call him at 210-294-6043. All right. So, Tito, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, I know we're going to talk a lot about insurance stuff, and we've delved into your background before, but I want to start with Allison. Just give me a quick background on you, how you ended up into the insurance world where you are now.
Sure. So, started out my career in hospitality. Got my degree in restaurant hotel management. Spent a little bit of time in the Virgin Islands, St. John Virgin Islands. That's something that Tito and I kind of have a little bit of a correlation to one another. He's from Puerto Rico. Flew in there often when I was traveling down back and forth to the islands. So then I got married, started having kiddos, and stayed home with them for a while, supporting my husband and his coaching career. And then had a wonderful opportunity come up about 7 years ago to join an independent agency here in San Antonio. After being there for about 6 years, decided that I was going to kind of switch gears. Decided that maybe having my own book of business was a better option for me. So I am now with Comparion Insurance. Very similar. We are independent agents, and we can sell with multiple carriers. So we're able to find the client the best rate, the best price for them, while also making sure that their needs are met. So we do home, auto, small commercial, life insurance, pet insurance, toys, you name it.
Was it financially? Was it a good decision to go out on your own?
You know, right now it's a really hard market. The potential is definitely there, but it's all about creating those relationships with people. And the more you do that, the more opportunity you have to grow your book. So
Yeah. Doing that in bulk is a passion of mine. You know, and I think that, you know, Tito, you're learning super fast in the networking world because doing things in groups or being sponsors at things, being the kid throwing the party kind of a thing, is that's more of the attraction business as opposed to the chasing business. When you attend a mixer, you're attending a mixer. Hey, you got the same shot as 95% of everybody else there. But when you're a sponsor or you're throwing the mixer and you get a chance to be on the mic, you know what I mean? Be part of that crew that's throwing it. I think it's a world of difference. So this is an approach that I see that you're taking as well. How's that going for you?
It's life-changing, really. The experience is phenomenal. Like I said, not that I'm not a people's person, but I was very enclosed in that aspect, you know, and we tried towards the beginning all kind of things to try to make it work, and it just didn't. That's when I realized that I was hitting a bump or a wall that I did not know what to do about it until, well, obviously you start introducing me to certain areas where it was about, go out there and making relations with people and going networking. And it was a total game changer, okay? Remember, you can be spending hundreds of dollars and trying to get leads, and this opens you to an area where you're not chasing the business. Okay, they're actually looking for you, and it all depends also on your reputation and how you carry yourself. But if you're a true professional and you deliver what you say, it's gonna come to you. The people gonna come to you, and they're gonna vouch for you. You're gonna meet extremely important people, and they'll start putting the word out there for you, and eventually it will change naturally. You don't even know how it's happening. It just will happen.
And now you've met Allison. Of course, you guys are, forming a business relationship here that's growing. And I know what we're going to focus on today, at least in part, is this idea that homeowners don't understand that when they hire a plumber, there's certain precautions that they need to take. So let me just pass it back to you. What kind of things should homeowners be looking out for when they're hiring a plumbing company? It's not just about the price, right? Because there's long-term implications that we'll get into. But what kind of things should the homeowners be looking for when they're hiring plumbing?
First, I know that a lot of the problem is they don't understand, they don't see the value of things. So it's good to educate them and make them understand why you're doing certain things and why it needs to be done that way. It's very risky. Remember, plumbers, we had to go out there and through the board of plumbing examiners, we need to be educated. We need to pass the testing. They teach you what is important, what is dangerous, and what it needs to be done. A lot of the people that are on license and doing all that kind of stuff, they're completely in violations. They don't know what they're doing. They might see they know what they're doing, but actually they don't.
So first and foremost, you're saying hire only a licensed plumber.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly, because that's the education that we get, and we understand what's going on. The number one thing they should be doing is, I don't care who it is at your door, you need to ask for a license. Let them show you their plumbing license. Just because they tell you, oh, we running under a responsible master plumber, that's the license in the vehicle, doesn't state that they're allowed to be working, okay? They need to have a minimum of a tradesman to be working under supervision of a master plumber. Now you get your journeyman. But if you don't ask for a license, you're looking for a world of trouble. Definitely a world of trouble.
Okay, and that's a great segue over to you, Allison. So I know I was very interested in the insurance aspect of this, because if something goes wrong, right, and people are going to file an insurance claim. And let's say that I had a water heater installed, and now the water heater came apart on me and leaked all over the place, and it's above my bedroom, and it's completely soaked everything. What is the insurance side of what kind of questions are they going to be asking? What kind of things are they going to be looking for? Because you guys aren't in the business of giving your money away if people are violating rules. So what kind of things should a homeowner be at least aware of with respect to hiring an unlicensed plumber?
Well, I would say, first off, the number one reason why claims get denied is because the homeowner has not maintained whatever it is, their hot water heater, for example. So making sure that you're maintaining your equipment, that you, as a homeowner, is your responsibility, is number one. And I know that Tito will come out and do annual inspections, flush the systems, make sure they're up to speed, the pressure is right. I know that's a big thing that he talks about, but the number one reason why a water claim is denied is because the homeowner neglected to maintain the unit.
Yeah, and forget unlicensed plumbers. I mean, in San Antonio, everybody has a tiatencha who has a neighbor that has a guy that can do it and just shows up in an unmarked vehicle, and then they run to Home Depot to get some parts, and then they come. I would imagine that, let's say something really happens and you're not going to go after that guy and you file it on your own homeowner's insurance. I would imagine that might also get denied, right? Because once they do a little investigation, who installed this?
Right. And correctly installation is a big deal. My mother owns a couple rental properties, and one of her tenants called and said, hey, we're having a lot of lime buildup. We're having to clean it out, like way too frequently, it feels like. So she went over there, took a look, had a licensed plumber come over there, And the previous owner of the rental property had installed the wiring wrong. So it was like bypassing something. The hot water was not going to the right spot, and it was just creating all this line buildup. So I Tito's probably like, oh yeah, of course.
That's also too happens when you, and that's what we tell people, like when we're gonna do some kind of work that works with your pressure regulator, and we take a look to the water heater and say, hey, codes and regulations said that you need an expansion tank and this little apparatus that's called a vacuum breaker. People look at you, oh, you're trying to upsell me. You just, why don't you just do what I tell you? And you have to show and prove, hey, this is codes and regulation. This is an anti-siphonage part that your water heater requires in order not to let all that gunk, all that stuff travel back and siphon into your drinking water. You're taking the calcium, you're taking years of, and then I ask them, have you flushed your water heater? No, I haven't. Well, guess what? All that junk that's happening in there through years is going to end up inside your home, and it could end up in the potable water actually pushing back to city side. So it's things, there's codes and regulation that you need to have, but people don't seem to understand that, or they want to. They understand that there's problems, maybe issues with you trying to keep it within your budget, but not always trying to keep your budget and trying to do shortcuts is going to do any good for you. Actually, you're doing dangerous things that you should not be doing.
Well, it's also important to know somebody who knows what the regulations are, because I know at one time people could install water heaters in the attic, and then that changed, that became dangerous, and whatever if there's a leak there. So I mean, how many times do you go into a property and see things that were put in wrong?
Oh, that like regularly. I got a call from a lady that they were saying that her water heater sounded like it wanted to explode. The water heaters had something that is supposed to be inspected every year. It's called a temperature and pressure relief valve, which if the pressure increases of the water heater with thermal expansion and contraction, is trying to exit out so it can relieve the pressure in your water heater. But they found out that a handyman took that line that's for the TMP and went and capped it because he saw it leaking. Well, if it was leaking, it's because the unit was trying to do his job. So now what he did by capping that, he was causing a potential projectile to explode in the home, and actually that stuff erupts up, and God forbid there's kids sleeping upstairs. Guess what? There's going to be a real tragedy that was going to happen.
Right, and that stuff happens all the time. You just don't hear about it on the news because that's not really newsworthy, but it happens all the time. I heard a screeching, horrible noise at my house. I would have called you, but it wasn't in my house. It was my neighbor's house. Their pool pump was running without water. So apparently the water level had dropped enough in the pool that the pump was running without water. It was making this horrible sound I can hear through my double pane windows. So I called the police department, and they dispatched somebody, and they went into their backyard and shut everything down. The people were out of town. Nobody answered. And so they went and shut it down. They said that thing could have exploded.
That is dangerous. And actually, let me tell you something. That's why the codes and regulation exist. It's not because they just want to make it. It's because they learn from tragic situations that had happened. Actually, you haven't seen it in the news, but there was this video that actually a home exploded, like it was a bomb, and actually damaged 3 more houses around. Everybody lost their life. Why?
Wow.
Because you had somebody that didn't like the pricing when the plumber gave it to them, so they decided to take matters on their hand. We had another situation that a whole family passed away because of the gases, proper venting of the water heater, and unfortunately, to save that money, now somebody got to live with their conscience thinking like, hey, I try to cut up some money, and now it costs the life of 4 people.
Yeah. No, I actually know somebody that happened to. Was a gas leak, and the kid ended up with disabilities. He's an adult now, and he's disabled, and the parents feel horrible. And it wasn't even that they were saving money. They lived in Chavano Park. They had money. It's just somebody did a bad job, and I'm sure it was somebody that was not properly licensed. Look, one thing that I love about the Right Guyz Plumbing is you guys have branded vehicles. You obviously have a branded shirt. You have a nice website. You have your licenses, your master plumbers. You know what I mean? So it's legit. And I don't see that necessarily it costs more money when you hire somebody who's a master plumber compared to somebody who's not licensed, because what they're doing is they're basing their pricing on what the master plumbers, because they're trying to maximize profit.
Well, and they're just Band-Aiding the
Right.
problem, which then is a trickle-down effect. Your other systems start to malfunction because they're all somewhat tied together with the water. Now your dishwasher doesn't work.
Yeah,
Now your
no.
refrigerator's clogged.
Right.
Now you've got to call somebody to fix those.
So I bought a house back in 2000 that had an addition put on that was put on without permitting, and they had electricians and plumbers or whoever did it, probably unlicensed, and 1/3 of my house burned down, and my entire family was in the house. We were getting kids on the middle of the night.
That is
Then
horrible.
the
Oh,
back
my
third of the house exploded. Well, the cars were exploding, and everything started to collapse. Once the insurance did their investigation, the statute of limitations had passed. They couldn't find any record of any permits being pulled.
That's horrible.
And so it's a real thing.
A real problem.
Oh, yeah.
So on top of I guess we talked a little bit about claim denial. So we a little bit on that, touched on it. So if you guys, well, let me just ask: do insurance agents, or agents, when there's a claim, what do they call the person that actually
Adjuster?
looks
The
into
adjuster.
it? The adjuster. Do they do an investigation on something like, say, it was a water heater type situation that caused, $20,000 worth of damage? Are they going to do an investigation?
100%.
Okay.
Like you said earlier, insurance companies are not in the business of giving away money right now. They have exponentially cracked down on their underwriting. So before you even get the policy, they want to see documentation. If you've said your roof is 5 years old, you better be able to prove that you got that replaced with actual documentation. If you said your HVAC is new, they're going to want to see that. If you've had plumbing updates, wiring updates, they're going to want to see city permits. So all of that has to be 100% verified now. And then first and foremost, if you have a water claim, let's say in a pipe bust, number one thing is to turn that water off. You've got to stop the damage as soon as possible. The second thing would be is take a bunch of pictures, video even. Video is probably the best way to show an adjuster what has happened during the damage and after. Call your insurance company as soon as possible, and then call a plumber. Call that person that needs to come out, preferably Tito with the right guys, and they need to come out and look at everything. Another thing you need to do is make sure that if it's there's water going all over your floor, move your rugs, move your furniture out of the way. You've got to not allow additional damage to continue to happen. So,
Okay, and if as they're doing their investigation, they figure out that there are some issues that maybe the homeowner didn't do proper maintenance or they didn't pull permits and stuff like that, what's the effect it's going to have on the claim?
well, it will get denied most likely. There's no way for an agent to be able to tell a client when they call in, I've got a water problem. Is this going to be covered? It's always up to the claims adjuster. So if the adjuster comes out and there is no way for you to prove that it was not a maintenance issue or that, it wasn't wear and tear, you're going to have a hard time getting them to approve that claim.
So homeowners need to be tracking when they do maintenance. They need to keep a record of everything that's being done to these big items in the home.
Yes. Save it on the computer in a file. If you like paper, save it in a folder, but you've got to keep track of all of that stuff. It's really important these days.
Now, let's say that you guys deny a claim or it's mitigated down to where it's only partially covered or whatever. They're not getting the full claim. Is it going to have an impact on the homeowners? Because that's a negative thing. Is it going to have an impact on the homeowner's ability to get insurance going forward?
It can. Depending on how many claims you have to file within a certain amount of time, a couple of years usually. If companies see 2 water claims, it's a denial. You're not going to be able to find many insurance companies that will insure you anymore. So
Yeah, my own insurance company who I'd been with for 15, 18 years at that point by the house fire. So it was my office, my house, all my cars, my motorcycles. They ended up dropping me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I seen that.
But they said it was because it was too many claims within a short period of time. I said, but you realize that it was one incident, right? They're like, not the way we look at it. We look at it as the house burned, cars burned, even though the house burnt the cars, and then all your contents got ruined because of the house fire. So it's too many claims, so they drop me.
It wasn't the too many claims. That's silly. They just didn't want to insure you anymore. They were mad because of your claim.
Hey, but listen, I seen that, and the thing is that when they don't take care properly of their stuff, one thing leads to another one. So there was a leak here, but this caused stress or some kind of problem in the other one. So it started happening an effect that everything started going bad. And that's what we're trying to prevent. Do things right from the beginning, okay, and protect your assets. Do your inspections right, so this kind of thing it doesn't happen to you. Because I seen it. There's people I've been trying to help them, and they say go through your insurance because this is gonna be costly at this time. And they tell them, no, well now they're saying they're not gonna cover. They even try to drop me. But if you don't want that to happen, then you need to be consistent with your maintenance. Definitely.
So when it comes to staying up to date as a plumbing company, what kind of things are you guys doing on a regular basis? I know there's got to be continuing education and stuff like that. So what's happening in that world? How do you stay up to date on everything?
Well, you definitely, it is required for plumbers to do their continuing education once a year, okay? There's no way buts and bouts about that. You have to do it, and you need to pass it each time. After that is for a master plumber to keep up also too, for whatever changes and revisions they got in their plumbing laws, because something that we just did 3 months ago could change overnight, and now we need to stay on top of the laws to make that happen. It's not like, hey, we're going to do it because it was okay one day. No, it doesn't matter if it was okay yesterday. If they saying today is different, we need to do it that kind of way. And it's just so easy, man. It's just following protocol. And stay obedient to what they said, the law. Remember, we're not messing with just equipment. We're messing with people's life, okay? And that to us is very important. And you got to stay on top of your game. It doesn't matter. You want to be 100% okay with the board plumbing examiner.
And Tito, let me ask you this. Do the laws or the regulations change between the cities? So like does Alamo Heights and Chavano Park and these places have different regulations, or do they follow state guidelines?
Look, we everybody can have a municipality that they change a little bit the rules according to, as long as it's safe. Okay, we actually follow all through what we call UPC. Okay, which is the Uniform Plumbing Code, or the IPC, International Plumbing Code. That's pretty much the Bible of the plumbers. We need to stay. If the municipalities can make the little change, you can do something over here, but it looks a little bit different over here. It's not a big difference, okay? Because everybody got to follow through those rules.
So now, okay, so I put in a pool a few years ago, and the pool company came out, and they had people, and they're running gas lines and all that stuff that could potentially affect what the plumber has already put in place for gas lines, for water heater and all that stuff. Is it a good idea for these people to be talking to each other?
Oh, yes.
If somebody's going to install something that requires something that a plumber's using, water, gas, electricity, get a plumber, get an electrician out there, right?
Mm-hmm. We actually this morning, prior to the show, I was on a job where they going to be installing a pool in the backyard. So the smartest thing to do is to hire a professional company that had the right equipment to track your sewer line, okay? We want to see where is it running. I want to see how deep it is, and also the same thing with water lines. We want to make sure that we know we're located. Then you get together with the people, the different companies, they're going to do their different work, and y'all have to agree. But just because they want to do certain things, it is your job also to tell them, hey, we can't do that. We cannot run this water line in this little space together with the sewer line, because state code said that you had to be 18 inches away from each other. So that could be a challenge to them, because we can't sacrifice the law and the customer's well-being because somebody else wants to do it their way.
So this is a great analogy for business ownership. It's complex. There's multiple layers. You have to be managing different things. I mean, I don't know, Allison, are you running into that as going into entrepreneurship and having your own book of business compared to when you had jobs and a lot of stuff was being taken care of by corporate or by the company you're working for and you were only focused on one thing?
Right. So it's wonderful to have people in their expertise is in that I can refer clients to when a claim arises. If they have issues with their plumbing, if their roof, we've had a horrible hailstorm. Now they need a roofer to come out and take a look. So it's imperative that I have partnerships and relationships with people that, are experts in their field.
Yeah. So back to networking and what you and I like to talk about, strategic alliances, having the right team, the right people you could refer to,
Well, and also for your own business. So there's networking, right? And there's having, the connections and stuff, but also taking care of the different components of your own business, like staying up to speed on what the code changes are. How's Chavano Park different from Alamo Heights? There's got to be differences there. And the more you know about that, the better you are. Somebody has to pay attention to that education. Somebody's got to be taking care of the website. Somebody's got to be taking care of the admin duties. Somebody's got to be doing networking. So, just on and on and on, right? Communicating with the customer and all that kind of stuff. So running a business, there's lots of different pieces to it. So how are you approaching that from a business perspective when it comes to handling the different components of your business as you grow? Because you've got more demand coming because you're doing the networking, but you've got to grow your business too. So how are you approaching these different components?
So we wait for the right time, when the demand comes and the time comes, you start knowing if you're a good businessman and you understand your business, you start kind of like taming the waters and start, pre-planning. You wanna be proactive and not reactive. Okay, and then you start seeing how the market is, and there's ups, there's down, there's seasons, So you kind of create a projection yearly of what's going on around that time. We know, for example, San Antonio, one of the times that's low for plumbing is going to be fiesta season, and that can prolong to almost 30 days plus. Then you start getting people your income. They can start getting their income back. So, you're going to get busy the holidays because everybody wants their sewer lines and their stuff being optimum for receiving families. So it is you as a business owner to understand the market. Now, that being said, you also have to understand the tools that you're going to need, like for marketing. And that's why it's very important to start knowing and start, meeting with other people and start networking, because that's the people you're gonna learn, and you're gonna meet people like, oh my God, yeah, that's what I need. Oh, I didn't know I need that. And you're gonna start finding out even things that you thought you didn't need, vital for your business. And that is the great thing about networking. And it's just, once you start getting with these people and you create this little team, solid, and they would help you. They will help you to carry you all along the way.
Yeah, but people tell you, Tito, but I'm not a people guy. I'm not like you. I'm not super friendly. I don't like going to events. How do you keep up that energy? And really, can you say, I know you said that meeting Marc was transformational and him getting you involved in the networking game, but can you explain a little bit from a day-to-day perspective?
Man,
how much more time is it? And how do you keep up that level of excitement and
The
enthusiasm?
level of excitement is because it's like I told people, man, I love life. I don't get up every morning dragging my feet and being like, oh, I'm thankful every day for what I do and the opportunities that I get in my business. Listen, people don't have to do work with me. Okay, they chose to do work with me. They gave me the opportunity. So how thankful I am as a business person that is happening to me. So I don't take that for granted. I'm thankful and I do my best. And like I said, I go around life. I love life and I love people and what I do. If you're in a business that doesn't excite you and you're running a business, guess what? Get out. Get out, because you're doing more harm than what you're doing good to yourself and do it to others. And I'm very happy, what I can say it, and I grew up in a realm where that's what they taught us. I'm Puerto Rican. Like people always partying. They find always an excuse to party and be happy. But I'm very excited. I like to do outside activities, keep my mind clear, and people don't think that takes a lot. To be able to maintain yourself physically, mental, and just be grateful overall and love yourself and keep pushing. And it's exciting. Life is excitement. And we're not always we got to have the thankfulness to do it, because one day it's Life doesn't last forever.
No,
but
it
whatever.
come out of nowhere, right? And you get a life change. That
Yes,
happen.
you gotta be ready for everything. But as I'll go out there. I love people. I love working with people. I love my customer. I hate to call them customers because I build relationships with them. And whatever I do, I'm not trying to sell them a product. I'm trying to make them understand that I care for them. And that's why we've been so successful at that is because they trust us. They trust our work, our ethic. And we joke around, we sit down, we have a good time. Money is what I move a business. But at that point, when I'm knowing somebody I'm going to do a business, I'll put business aside. And I want to know that person deeply. What is your issues? How can we help you? Be truly there for you. And that's the difference between us and a lot of companies. We don't chase the money. We chase your friendship and we chase your well-being. So all this stuff makes me happy as a person. And definitely I love life.
Well, as you are continuing to expand your business and grow, mentors are super important to surround yourself with people that are successful, maybe where you want to go already. I know you're part of Blue Collar Connect, but like, as far as building these relationships with other successful businesses to learn what are they doing to be successful, if somebody's 1 or 2 or 3 steps ahead of you in the business growth, learning from them, how did you get from 2 million to 5 million, or from 5, whatever that number is as far as the growth goes, just putting a dollar figure on it. How are you approaching getting these new relationships? I know networking is a part of it, but being strategic and where you find those people is important too. So how are you expanding and growing your connections, your potential mentors?
To be honest, instead of like that, no, because everybody is in the business, everybody is right for you. Okay, you choose your mentors, you choose the people that actually is gonna benefit your company, not only benefit you, but what you can do for them as well. You gotta sometimes be naive. The worst thing is being this kind of businessman that you can approach them and you cannot tell them, hey, I will do this thing because they feel offended. Oh, I've been in business for 20 years. Who cares how many years you've been in business? The way that I play it out is if I can always learn something new, I'm going to take the back seat because eventually I see what you're doing, where you head to, and if you are a very successful person, and you can match him with his success versus other success from other people, well, guess who I want to go to? I want to go to the guy that actually has more results, the guy that has more experience, and that's who I'm going to make my mentor.
Where are you meeting these people?
Oh, I go to the mixers. I'm going to, you can find them in the nonprofits. You can do nonprofit organizations and be part of them. You see successful people. I love when they sit down and they don't even let me get the trip that I wanted because they're buying everything, and I want to be those guys. I want to buy everything and give it back to the employees and not take nothing. So you meet them there. You meet them. Look, what you got to do is you got to stay in touch with the events that are happening in your city, okay? Go and look, and I'm telling you, you're going to find them. They're going to be there. But like I said, not everybody's for you, but you want to meet this quality people and keep them. And obviously, they can be high-quality people, but you got to also see how they're doing the business. Is it doing it legit? If it's respectful, are you taking advantage of people? Because not because he's successful, it means that you want to be doing certain things that you shouldn't do. It's always about honor, respect, integrity.
Well, and Howie, you are like super active, super connected as well.
And super successful. Don't forget that.
There you go. Sharkmatic.
I was already thinking maybe I should have not said 30 years in business.
Yeah, there you go.
Because he doesn't care.
And still trying to figure it out.
You and Tito are also friends, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, what is there anything that he's missing there? That could be
no. But he's a prime example of when the student is ready, the lesson arrives. The student is ready. The lessons are always there. The opportunities are always there. Many times, we, the beneficiaries, could be more ready than we are. We're just not open or receptive to these opportunities, but they're all around us. And I'm glad you said that. And back to the networking thing, we were talking about that earlier, and having the strategic alliances and the people who could refer business to each other. But more than that, the people you can trust, the people that you want to be accountable to. All three of you all are in BNI. I'm very familiar with the process of BNI and the systems. But you don't want to let them down by not being there.
Exactly.
And then you want to deliver for them. There's an old African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with others.
Exactly.
And in business, you don't necessarily want to go fast. Usually quality suffers. But you want to go far. You want to accomplish a lot. Could you do it alone? You can. It's just going to take you a long time. But you can go very far with others. Especially people who, like you said earlier, are already 2 or 3 steps ahead of you. They're clearing the path for you. They're showing you. But what do we do sometimes? Especially if we're stubborn or pig-headed. We're like, we're going to go this way.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to, I'm like,
So
path, I already put the path.
now it takes you like 5 times harder, you know, to get there just because they pay the way for you, you know, and the opportunity to meet these people, it is extraordinary. Like I said, you should be taking advantage of that and you be humble.
I will say something that's very fundamental to business. I've been a partner in more than 24 businesses, and I've been an entrepreneur for, you know, I say self-unemployed for, you know, more than 30 years. You have to deliver the goods. You have to deliver on what you say you're going to deliver. You should be better than your competitors, but showing up and completing the job and doing it on time and on budget is 80% of it. And I know it's fundamental, but for all those entrepreneurs that are listening, it's not that easy. You're not going to just hang your shingle, have an office, go buy drapes, and then wait for the business to roll in. You have to deliver.
Yeah, and Allison, so I know you met, did you meet Tito and the Right Guyz plumbing team through BNI?
Through BNI.
Okay, and so you run across a lot of trades folks, I would imagine. What is it that you're looking for when, you know, because they're looking to connect with, at least they should be, if they're not already, if you're out there and you're a tradesperson, you need to connect with P&C insurance folks, right?
And Nelson just said,
Yeah.
roofers, plumbers, electricians, he needs all these people.
Yep. And is well connected to a lot of those good folks through BNI. But what are you looking for when you like identify, okay, this is a tradesperson that, you know, I want to do business with? It's quality is a given, but what else are you looking for?
Honestly, it comes down to, and I think a lot of people find this in the insurance area too, where they're looking for an insurance agent. Is the person going to give them a call back? I mean, I think business has gotten poor as of lately, and it's really hard to find somebody that will call you back and in a timely manner. So if I can find a tradesman that is going to call my client immediately, a lot of these problems that happen with the trades industry are emergencies that my clients need immediate help. And so I know Tito, he is reliable, he's consistent, he's available. So all of those things are super important when you're looking at partnering with somebody. The last thing you want to do is refer somebody and then they don't show up for your client. So it's so important.
Yeah, customer service is, the quality of the customer service has gone down since the pandemic tremendously. It's palatable. You can see it. You can hear it. You can tell by people's Google reviews. It's down. It's an opportunity for business owners, definitely, to step up the game.
Definitely.
100%.
All right, Tito. So anything else going on out there in the plumbing world that we didn't touch on that you want to cover?
I'm just telling people to be careful what they do. Okay, number one, I understand that plumbing is not cheap, but it should be cheaper. Okay, remember you pay for what you're gonna get, your safety as well. Just be careful. The things that we do is not because we just wanna, especially companies like mine. We care about you. We care about your safety. Okay, we gonna call, and if there's things that I see dangerous, we gonna call you out. I'm not trying to upsell you absolutely nothing, but it's my job to let you know if there's any dangers in your home. You can hire everybody and anybody. Just you can go price shopping because you think there's just this amount that you should pay, and then you get somebody that on license to go ahead and give you what you want. They'll go out there and sometimes you even see them drinking out there. I don't think you want somebody to do your plumbing while they're drinking. Okay. On other companies that will say it, or not even a company, but it'll be like, okay, well, it's gonna be this much money up front for us to start. They put a couple holes in your walls, or they start doing certain things. And I said, well, we'll be back tomorrow, and they will never return. So they took half of your money, and I seen people upset. I even had people that had come out like, well, how much it's going to cost? Well, now I got to fix what he did, and now it's going to be this price. This is our pricing. And I go like, oh, my God, but how are you going to charge me this much if I already paid this guy X money? And I said, well, that's the X money. You shouldn't have paid him in the first place.
Hey, by the way, that happens in my industry too. People are like, oh my God, I spent all these thousands of dollars on a website. They never even finished. Is there any way you could just like pick up from there? I'm like, no, it's going to cost more to fix somebody else's mess, like you said.
Listen, look do a little study in the company. Look the reviews. Look what the people are saying about them. Okay, see their how credible they are, you know, and that's the things you should do a little bit of homework.
I can't say that enough. If the people you're going to do business with are not on Google, don't have a website, don't have a presence, don't do business with them.
Exactly. And there's
more often than not, it's not going to end well.
Hey, listen, and I have some people telling me, hey, well, can you do this? Can you do this? And I'm going to say it right here, right now. If you ever trying to hire us to do halfway job to make it cheaper for you, okay, and break the laws and break the rules, don't call me.
All right.
Don't call me because I'm not gonna do it. My reputation and everything that we try to do is according to respect. Like I said, trust, and we're gonna do things right. Okay, like especially if you're trying to sell a home and who cares the next people they're gonna buy it, let's cover it. Don't call me because you know what? That could have been me. That could have been somebody that I love. That could be a friend of mine. And we don't want to be doing certain things that put the next owner in some kind of danger. All you need to do is just keep up with your maintenance and understand that that's your responsibility. It is your responsibility to check the pressure.
Just like a car.
Yes.
Change the oil, put in the gas, do your tune-ups, and you're going to have a vehicle that's going to last and drive well for a long time.
We're going to give you quality.
Yeah.
We're going to give you the respect for your hard-earned money. And we're devoted to that. That's what it makes a difference between us and other companies, that we are going to say what we're going to do. Like, we are also a 24-hour company. We're not the guys that are going to tell you, hey, yeah, well, you have a leak, turn off the meter, we'll see you in the morning. No, we go out there. If we have to dig in front of your house at 2 a.m. and correct that problem, we're going to do it. But, hey, it's not free, you know, or it has a price. Other people say, like, well, you're the guy to answer, thank you so much, and hey, on a weekend, on a Sunday night, but you give a price, and they go like, but why is it cost this? I mean, should it be this price? And I'll be like, hey, but was I the one to answer?
Well,
reliability and being there, honoring your word has a price. Or you can call somebody that you're going to sit down on Saturday or Sunday and never going to show up.
Yeah. Allison, do you feel like people still have their pre-COVID pricing brain on? Like what they used to cost, and now they look at insurance and they're like, wait, what?
Sure. Definitely. And because of all the weather claims that we've had, the huge freeze was like kind of the thing that catapulted the insurance industry and having to increase their rates to cover the loss ratio for their businesses. So,
and I think Dallas too. Dallas is having way too many hailstorms.
Well, the weather
it's
storms,
ruining it for us all.
The hurricanes, the hailstorms, all of this. We've had so many of them in the last few years. These are all huge things that contribute to insurance companies. Well, and 3 years ago, they had no way to know that their loss ratios weren't going to add up to what they usually do. When we have these catastrophic events, it's very difficult. So they have to raise their premiums. Inflation. I mean, we have inflation. We have on the roads, talking about car insurance. The reason why car insurance has gotten so high is because, one, the vehicles are way more expensive. All the bells and whistles that we have on the vehicles now cost so much more to replace in an accident. And then, unfortunately, we're kind of a society here in the United States, like we're a little bit sue happy. So things like that contribute to the rates. And it makes a big difference on why Texas is one of the highest in the United States. If not the highest, I mean, Louisiana, Florida, California, Texas, we're all in the same kind of boat as far as how high.
Coastal. Yeah. We have our coastal problems, right?
We have the most catastrophic weather events in these states.
Yeah.
And we have too many Californians moving here.
Well, yeah, they're all moving to Austin, I think. But before we wrap up, I want to get into, so your passion really is beyond plumbing. I mean, obviously this is how you make your living. You're very good at it. You are passionate about plumbing, but you're also passionate about, being a motivational speaker, really kind of passing that energy from you to others. What are you doing in this space to really kind of grow that part of you that we get a sense of it here?
Well, right now, like I said, I always done it. It's not something that is new. I'm not done on the stage, but I motivate myself to do it every day. And I speak to people, and it's born naturally on me. I love seeing somebody that is not fully seeing their capacity as a human being, and I can see a little bit more than others their value. And I believe that every human being is a beautiful being. It's a soul. Like I explained, we're not human beings trying to have a spiritual experience. We're spirit having a human experience. So we all important. That's why our freaking DNA, you can match it. You're exclusive. You're only one. So that tells you you're unique. Okay, and there's so many people out there that need to understand that we're waiting for them to wake up and provide their gift, because we all benefit. We are in this wave called life. Okay, so what you do is very important. Your self-being is important to me and to all of us. So I love that spark on people's eyes when you speak to them and something happens inside of them. I had situations where I spoke to a person that said, this is all I needed to hear. Well, I'll be talking to people, and sometimes they don't even listen to me, and then 2 years later, I have somebody pop out and say, hey, thank you for this. And then I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, that day you were speaking to a group, but I was in the corner, and I was actually, I wanted an answer. I woke up that day wanting an answer, and you answered the answer, and you didn't even know that you do these kind of things. I love doing this.
I know you do. But what are you doing to now grow that?
Right now, what I'm doing, I'm open to opportunities. People are giving me opportunities, like Blue Collar Connect gave me the opportunity to go to Washington and speak in front of their people. Also, too, I'm looking and moving towards that, connecting with different people, like also with Millionaire Minds, and get the opportunity and coaches to give me the open and the opportunity to get that. So I am going full throttle with it, and if I get those opportunities, those doors open, whoever's listening, I'm ready for it, and don't only want to do plumbing. I want to change people's life. So I'm actually doing networking and opening to that at this point.
Love it. Great.
All right, Tito, if people want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
They can call me at 210-744-4397, or they can visit us at the web at therightguyztx.com, and you can go to Facebook page, if I don't say that already anyways. And then you can get in contact with us. Remember, we're a 24-hour company. We'll deliver a service, and holidays, weekends, late nights, whatever you need.
And if you show up at 2 a.m., are you going to be upbeat, positive?
Oh, man, I take me a coffee, a Celsius, and that we'll be dancing merengue and salsa in front of your house all night. So
and
we'll
then
be
you can
good.
Drop some motivation.
Kuriquitaca right there. Like
Drop some motivation for
yes,
them. I love that.
Definitely.
All right, and Allison, if folks want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
They can reach me at 830-481-3424. You can also go to the Comparion Insurance website and just search my name, Allison Phair. Also
and the
on
spelling
Instagram
of your
and
last
Facebook.
name.
Phair,
P-H.
P as in Paul, H as in Henry, A-I-R.
Love it. All right, guys, well done. We are going to wrap up. Howie, any other closing words of wisdom?
Man, I'm loving the energy from both of you. I'm glad you guys came together, because I love the synergy you all provided, because it showed how complex business can be, and certainly home ownership and getting your ducks in a row. So I appreciate that. On the speaking thing, let's talk. I love that. You just keep talking all the time. Free, paid, whatever, whether people ask you to or not. Just keep inspiring people, brother.
Let's do it.
Tito's passion is contagious. It really is.
And thank you, Allison, for being here today. I mean, she's very devoted to what she does, and if I wouldn't, the reason why she's here is because I I knew she was perfect for this talking, and I thank you very much, and keep your passion and keep everything you're doing, and we thank you for what you do.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity, Tito.
Thank you.
That's good teamwork. Love it. All right, as we wrap up the show, quick reminder, check out our latest podcast and catch video version of the show anytime by visiting our website at satalkradio.com. Good job, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you on the next one.